Zhong הוא מנצח, הוא פסנתרן סיני נודע. שלום, Zhong.
שלום.
נין האומה.
נין האו.
Zhong ואני מכירים אחד את השני כבר שנים רבות, ואנחנו נפגשנו בשנגחאי, ואנחנו נפגשנו בבייג'ין, ונפגשנו ביפן, באממצו, ואנחנו נפגשנו באיטליה, בבולצנו, וזו בעצם הפעם הראשונה שאנחנו נפגשים בישראל. And now I have a question to you. Do you have any idea what I said to our public in Hebrew?
I try to understand this, then you talk about Shanghai, Beijing, and Busoni competition, and also in Italy and here. That's only I can guess.
And the common denominator that in all those places we met together, the two of us.
Okay, wonderful.
And this is the first time we meet in Israel.
Yes.
And in Shanghai we were even sharing the stage. We played concert together.
We played a concert together, we were jury together, and many times.
But for me the most important is when you conducted and I sat at the piano and played for you.
And I remember the concerto is the number 21, Concerto 467.
You have good memory, and now we just change the musical chairs, and you sit at the piano and I sit here. And we would like to talk about your big career as conductor and as pianist. But the first piece I would like you to play is something by Chopin. It will be what?
Mazurka.
Mazurka. And a question. I noticed that Chinese artists, they have great affinity and feeling for Chopin.
Especially, I think we are talking about your student who won the first prize in Chopin, Yuan Li.
I am talking about Zhong.
Aha, okay. So I think better is I play, and I will let us know what is a Chinese interpretation about the mazurka.
Okay, Zhong. Go ahead. Zhong, touch my heart like always. This is a late mazurka by Chopin, isn't it?
Yes.
very long and rather complicated, not as simple as the early mazurkas.
I think it's you permit me, but I think that every mazurka, especially for the Asian musicians, is very difficult. Because I remember when I was 16 years old, when I was in Paris, when I started to learning this mazurka, and we are not used for this dance because we don't know. Then later, I have a younger classmate who is Polish. So, and he tried to dance. What is the reason? Rhythmic. And then after I understand better. Yeah.
But you know what happens lately? That you Chinese play mazurkas much better than the Poles.
We can say in this way, and of course, because we restarted your student great success because yes, but this is quite important because we have a Futong, and later we have Yundi Li, and this is really amazing success for the Chinese. Then after this result, I think the Chinese more confidence to the Chopin music.
Confidence maybe, but you always did it well, and I recall that the first prize for the best Polonaise in Chopin competition was shared between two Chinese, Chen Sa
yes.
and Yundi Li.
And this both is my Savadis student.
Come on, this is not the point. The point is that the two Chinese young pianists, they taught the Poles how to play Polonaise.
Yes, this is very beautiful result.
I think the individuality, the natural way that you express your personal pain by the notes of Chopin.
I think there are certain personality Chinese can feel a little bit more than the other Asia citizens. I think to more touching the Chopin soul, I think.
You mentioned Paris.
Yes.
You studied in Paris,
yes.
And I would like to ask you to play some French music.
Okay.
What have you got in stock?
Yeah, I think maybe we can play a prelude from Debussy, first book, and Danse de book.
Yeah, that is so beautiful because the teacher, piano teacher of Debussy, was a pupil of Chopin. So
yeah, is there a connection between Chopin and Debussy? Yes. May I play for you? Thank you.
Xie. Thank you.
Thank you.
Zhong. There is one prelude of Debussy that both of us love a lot. We share a lot of love. Which prelude is it?
I should play and don't say it, the name.
Yeah, but I like you beforehand just to say,
Okay.
why do you love this prelude so much?
Because I think this prelude is Debussy wrote for some very dear children of him. And since, you know, we are always traveling in the world, and we're missing a lot of our children, and also there is some very deep but very little sadness about missing the family. So I will play this prelude for you.
And we shall not announce the name because we expect everybody to know the piece. Or shall we tell?
We keep the secret until my last note.
No, but maybe we shall ask a subtitle for... You know, Debussy always, he shared the name in parentheses.
Yes.
Yeah, so we just, you know, we tell in a secret the name. So you say it is about missing?
A little missing about his dear children.
Yes, I so much agree with you. There is so much purity in this music. This girl... Yeah, it is a girl. Now I'm telling the secret. This girl is not a kind of a sexy girl, isn't she?
No, is a child.
Yeah, she's a child.
Yes.
She's a child.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That was really heart-touching. I have a question. Is that girl a city girl or a village girl?
I have an imagination for this. I think because he wrote it to his daughter.
I see.
Maybe.
So she's a city girl. Or maybe...
No, I think is between the countryside and the city.
So the picture is in the countryside?
I think so.
You
this
feel
is definitive, I think.
Yeah, open air, nature.
Open air, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And the second question, the time of the day.
This, I think, maybe you told me.
I told you the time of the day?
Yes.
Really? What did I say?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
You want me to say?
Yes.
Yeah, I feel it's morning.
Yes.
I don't think it has to do with night.
Yeah.
Definitely, and not with evening. And morning, because also, as you say, it's the morning of her life.
Yeah. And also, now may I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. After we are talking about she is in the or countryside or in the city or in the morning or night, now is coming what the color is of her hair.
You know something very funny? The daughter of Debussy, Chouchou, she had black hair.
Yes.
The wife of Debussy, black hair. Everybody black hair. None of his beloved girls was blonde.
Yeah. That's
a mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a mystery.
Yeah. And also, you know, because so now we can announce the name of this prelude is La Fille aux Cheveux Lin.
Yeah, הנערה בעלת שיער הפשטן. Yeah.
And I remember in the end when we play this soladi da 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 da, he write murmurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he makes some kind of joke with because his daughter was Chouchou.
Yeah.
And murmurant in French is kind of similar words like chouchou and murmurant. So this is some, maybe in his imagination there is some coincidence between. That is why we are...
Can you play the segment, the spot?
This,
where is this epilogue, this bye-bye. This very, very ending. The very end of the mazurka was, they switch off all the lights and I went home crying. And the very end of this is,
Yes, it's a sweet and a touching. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and the sadness of sweetness.
Yeah.
The inner sadness of sweetness is the meeting point. Sadness of sweetness.
Yes.
Zhong, lately your career is in Israel.
Yes.
Partly. How did it happen?
So this is, we must talk the city of the Haifa. And I think my first experience was in Haifa is this year in March. My first concert with the Symphony Haifa is in this March. And we did the Debussy Après-midi d'Info. After I conducted and played number 9 piano concerto, then the second part was the 4th Symphony of the Tchaikovsky. This is the first contact. This is the first thing. The second thing is Haifa and Shanghai were the twin city. So, and then I think after working with all the musicians and also working with the city of the Haifa, some chance is coming between the city of the Haifa and me and also the city of Shanghai.
And you became the artistic director of Haifa Symphony Orchestra.
Yes, I'm the music director and chief conductor in Haifa Symphony Orchestra.
That's really wonderful. Do you know some words in Hebrew?
I know shalom.
Okay.
And when we take the glass of the champagne or wine, we say l'chaim.
L'chaim.
And when the musicians play very good or I need some service, I say toda.
Oh, toda. I asked once Zubin Mehta, and he said also that he knows another word, which is sheket.
I think understand the silence, quiet.
Yeah. So you have to learn it, sheket.
Yeah.
For Israeli musicians.
For the Mediterranean musicians.
Yeah. And another word he knows is vaad.
Oh, yes, for stop the rehearsal?
No, the committee.
The committee,
yeah. So you have to ask the vaad.
Okay.
So you have to increase your vocabulary.
Absolutely.
Sheket and vaad.
Sheket and vaad.
As artistic director.
Thank you.
And now we are going to hear a second movement of a Mozart concerto that you play and conduct. And this second movement is very, very special. Actually, this is the first time that Mozart writes a tragic movement.
Minor.
Yeah.
C minor.
Yeah, C minor. So, Zhong, this was the concert you mentioned before that you conducted and also played.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the second movement of Mozart.
I think it's very dramatic, minor, and I think I'm very comfortable to play always Mozart concerto, conducting and play. And I think because there are a special feeling when I conduct and play, I more control the atmosphere. And also this very tragedy movement and is very different than the others concerto. And also this minor is always gives some dramatic impression.
And any special reason why you stood up when you started the movement? You just, normally pianists remain seated, but you stood up.
Yes, because very frankly, because I think the tutti, if we are more control the orchestra, it's better than you stand.
Yeah, and also, as you said, it's so dramatic.
Yes,
so
you need
dimension.
you need to give them immediately the color and the mood what you want.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think standing is better than stay here because somehow the problem of conducting and play, the five stands or the last stands they cannot see very well. So it's better when you stand to leading them in the beginning.
The most famous piano concerto written in China is the Yellow River Concerto.
Yes. Yeah, the Yellow River Concerto, before this piano concerto, it's a symphony and choir piece composed by one Chinese very famous compositor. His name is Xian Xinhai. And Mr. Xian was graduated in Paris. And so after we have 4 different people arranged this big piece to the piano concerto.
I see. So actually the Yellow River was written earlier as a symphony. Or,
yes, yeah. With the choir. Yes.
With choir.
And also
so
singers.
Like Beethoven Ninth.
Somehow.
Yeah, yeah. And then rearranged for...
Rearranged for the piano. Yes.
By, I heard 4 composers did the arrangement.
Yes, pianist and the composer.
Yeah,
yes.
A kind of collaboration.
Collaboration,
yeah.
Absolutely.
And you are going to play for us...
the second movement, the beginning of the second movement.
Which is for piano solo without the orchestra?
Yes, we started with one part, because we start with the orchestra, then after the piano come, but we have the theme, so I try for you. This is the beginning of the second movement of the Yellow River.
And that will be followed with a lot of passion and love for China and kind of very emotional, patriotic music, which I love a lot. Zhong, I would like to tell you something very personal. We have known each other for quite a while, and the first time you told me you are going to become a conductor, you want to conduct, I felt sad, because you are too good as a pianist, and I thought, oh my God, what a waste. He's a great pianist, why should he conduct? But then, when I heard you conducting, I thought, oh, maybe he did the right things. So, what are you saying?
I say thank you for inviting me to the program, and through your program, and I hope many Israeli people can see our program, and thank you again for the invitation.